Just making sure everything is up and running. And we are live.
Okay.
How is it going today? Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's like, I don't know what's
Yes,
happening with
indeed.
this. Awesome. We got it now. Yeah, so this is Nathaniel Evans and Jeannie Muhammad, your host for I'm a Data podcast, focus on leadership, spirituality, and also happiness, right? So we actually looking to build a whole person, and we also, Jeannie Muhammad is going to introduce herself, and then we're going to go down to Twanzell.
Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your global happiness expert. And I say I have declared today is World Smile Day. So go ahead, smile. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes.
Thank you for being here with us.
Definitely.
And Nathaniel, you can introduce our guest.
Yeah, I guess it's Twanzell Williams, a powerful brother that I met. I really had to connect with him on a high level and actually help him, assist him in getting his message out. He's here to help our brothers and sisters change the trajectory of their lives, to create financial safeguards for their lives, and to move ourselves out of poverty, not just according to finances, but according to spirit and truth, according to our mindset. So this is really important because we think that poverty is about money, but it really has little to do with money. It actually has to do with your insight and your purpose for your life and what goals you set for yourself and for your loved ones. And with that, I introduce Twanzell. You can speak your truth, brother, and then we can just get on what we do.
Absolutely, Nate. And Nate, thank you so much for, I want to say, for allowing me to come on this live stream. A pleasure, Nate, connecting with you, brother, and collaborating with you, getting a chance to see what's in the mind of Nathaniel Evans and see what you're doing out in the community, helping our people. And it's also an honor and a privilege to meet you too, Jeannie. I want to say good afternoon to everyone in the coast. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. We're so excited to be here because it's a great time. It's an exciting time because of what's available to our people, through different vehicles that they may not aware of. A little bit about my background, everyone. I live here in the city of Warren, but I say Detroit because I'm right on the skirt of Detroit, and I was born and raised in Detroit the majority of my life, and have been in metropolitan Detroit just about for my entire 50 years of existence. And I've been blessed with four children. They're all in their 20s. They are like-minded, these four like me, and we believe in creating, connecting with vehicles and creating different available streams of income for our people and showing them ways in simplistic ways, not complicated or difficult ways. We do a webinar,
Hold on, hold on.
a community wealth building.
Something is okay. There we go. I got it. Got it.
Okay, yes, and myself, I work with a good brother and friend of mine who also was raised in Detroit, but he now resides in New Jersey with his wife. But we're single Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern to 9 p.m. We connect, bring our community together, invite those who are like-minded and may be interested into how to tap into and learn how to create other streams of income that are very reachable for the average person. We live very volatile and unpredictable global economic climate, and we teach people that there are options and there are solutions that they can tap into to be able to create additional income streams for their family to keep them afloat and also to supplement their income because it is true. The Bible teaches answer all things. We're not to love it, but we do need it. And we show our people every single week how they can tap into and participate in alternative different vehicles to help them and start get on that path to generational, creating generational and legacy, um, a legacy income for them for their families if they so choose. It's different aspirations that all of us have, but even if a person can make an extra $200 a month, an extra 500, an extra $1,000 a month, and beyond, they can't do that only because we have done a lot of the heavy, extensive research working with myself. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have created joint ventures with of companies. I have traveled the country, created some strategic relationships, and so has my partner, Mr. Salim Amir Hakim. But we went about that approach and went on that path because we wanted to make things available and reachable for the average common person, who may not want to start their own company, take on the responsibility of overhead and things like that. There are vehicles that do exist that allow people their money a job and make that money go work for them. And we have been very successful doing, and we're proud of that. And we just have a great desire to share with people these alternative options and solutions that are available for the average person with no strings attached. That's what we do, and that's what we're proud to do. And again, and I thank you for allowing me to come on and just speak to that, because a lot of people just don't know. When you don't know what you don't
You
know.
don't know.
So as we
That's right.
encounter people, we also you don't know. Yep, and we counsel people, we counsel groups, and we also work with CEOs how they can make opportunities and companies better, because we know the space and we're in the field, me and my business partner, and we're just so excited being to touch and change so many people's lives that had to that lost their jobs. Some of our members were close to losing their homes, very close to losing getting their vehicle, and we introduced to them different platforms where they can make their money go to work for them, and make which is the same things that the banks are doing every single day. We teach people that there are other ways, other areas that they can park their money besides. Right now, the average APY, um, annual percentile, that the average consumer in the United States receives is a negative 1%. And a lot of
Mm.
people they've had enough of that. They reach out to us, me and my partner, and we give them guidance and suggestions, things that they can evaluate for themselves, to look into a company. My daughter is a forex trader, very successful forex trader. I'm sorry, options trader. She trades contracts and options, and she has shared knowledge with our community. And we're constantly just trying to spread the information, get the information out there. We had a very successful event just this past weekend in Detroit, where we had a lot of brothers and sisters come to place that we had designated to meet to just to do education, brainstorming, and show them that they can tap into financial arcs so that they can take care of themselves and their families. And the results that our community is getting is so wonderful. And we want to keep it going, keep sharing it, and just keep providing that knowledge. And whosoever will, let them come. So yeah, that's what we're out here doing, and we're going to continue to do this because it's so important and needed, especially in the global economic climate that we're living in today.
Oh, I am here about to jump out of my seat. I am just so excited about what you are doing, brother. That is
Oh, thank you,
fantastic.
sister.
It's all about doing for self and
Yes,
overcoming
it
that
is.
fear. Yes. And overcoming that
Yes.
fear that a lot of us may have because we're so used to uh maybe going to college, and I'm not saying anything against college, but college educate us to work for someone else. Most times college don't educate
Yes, it
us to
does.
go to business for ourselves. We always say get an education and then go get a job, not get an education and then go form your own company, get an education and go do for self. So I'm about
Yes.
to come to Detroit and get what virtual. We can do it all virtual now. So it's a blessing to be able to connect this
Yes, we
way.
can.
Mhm.
I'm
Yes.
excited.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
How long
Yeah,
have you been doing this, brother?
Uh, we've been involved in financial education community, Jenny, probably for I want to say a good, oh gosh, at least the past 6 years or so, full time.
Okay.
Um, I was working on these. I was working on this with some of my business partners and mentors of how to become a full time entrepreneur. And I've been a full time entrepreneur for approaching 5 years now,
you
and
got
really getting heavy with it. Rewarding, to be able to say that you are self-sufficient and you don't have a job. A lot of people, they'll ask me, wow, you do a lot of conference calls and webinars, Twanzell, what do you do? And I say, well, I work for myself.
That's
And
right.
I was
That's
blessed
right.
to have mentors and guides. Yes. And I was blessed to have mentors and guides to show me how to create passive residual income, and not just stay in place of earn income, or linear income, I call it, when we do our webinar meetings every Monday, because linear income is a one-way street. And we
mm,
don't want to park ourselves there. And what I mean by that, exchanging time for money, we don't teach that that's a bad thing. Like you said, Sister Jeannie, we have a job. If you job, that's a blessing, but use the income from that job to allow yourself to be able to diversify. That way,
Yeah.
in case something happens to your job, you have a backup plan. And you're able
Right.
to, people are able to make that money just like you have a job. If you do have a job, if you have a career, make your money, also go to work, hire it, and find out where you can hire your money and make it go to work, where you can have that additional stream as a backup plan. Some people, they have aspirations and they have accomplished them. They're able to leave because you had gotten to a place where your money was able to go to work for you. And that's what all of us want to do, because that's what wealthy do every single day. They make their money go to
Yes.
work for them, and they got that generational wealth going and flowing, and they have no worries or concerns for not having enough money. And we all can get there too. We just got to find the vehicles and where to go to be able to tap into those resources and those vehicles that will create that perpetual residual passive income that all of us need to. We have an open mind. I encourage people all the time, mind like a parachute, because a closed mind doesn't receive anything. And when you learn, like you said so beautifully, Sister Jeannie, most of us got taught that's how the system is set up. Go to school. I got grades in school, and I graduated with honors, and I was to work full time by going to college at night, and I learned so many things. But the owner of the company, he was really in that advantageous position that I wanted to get to. And I said, how do I do that? And so understanding what residual income is, what leverage is very important. A lot of people are starting to understand that, because the wealthy, they have 20, 30, 40. Well, Mr. Warren Buffett has over 75 income streams. If one goes away, he was it because so many are always going. And we teach our community wealth. We teach our wealth building community on Monday nights how to get 2 and 3 going, and then additionally, and then eventually add another, finding and assessing and evaluating the proper platforms that provide option for you to make your money go to work. And they do exist. A lot of people just have to know where to find them. And we are so proud and glad to be able to show and share those vehicles, which is for them to look at, evaluate, and uh, and they can tap into them if they please. And that's what people are doing every single day.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. Got Gene.
no, you go ahead because I'm excited. I'm just
Oh
excited
yeah, I've been
because
excited since
Absolutely.
I met this brother. Since
I,
I met this brother, I've been excited. This has been a great path that the Most High has led me to. What I mean, to free ourselves up. Throughout my years, I've done read so many books. I've been involved in so many movements throughout the world. Especially out of the world of Brooklyn, whatever you want to call it, Manhattan, Queens, whatever. But it's all basically come up to this point now to actually take all that information, all that that I actually, you know, extract from the world and actually use it to empower myself, but also to empower others. We have to actually see, especially as melanated people, as Twanzell always say, right, that the stack
Yes.
is the deck is stacked against us, right? And we're actually taught principles that really have nothing to do with our livelihood or our communities. As Swanzell and I spoke about yesterday, we don't own no hospitals, we don't own no banks, right? We don't even own none of our educational school systems, right? So now we live in an economical society that says that they're looking for entrepreneurs, they're looking for small business owners and things of that nature. But when you go into the school system, stuff like that, it's the contrary, right? We're not being taught about coding. We're not being
Yes.
taught entrepreneurial tactics and systems, right? We're not being taught how to sew up animals and stuff like that, because now you can sew up your friend or something like that. If y'all actually go into an accident on a camping trip and you're waiting for help to come and he's bleeding out. Like we don't know how to safeguard ourselves in so many different ways, but we go into all these different institutions. And Carter G. Woodson, he wrote a book on miseducation of the Negro. And in that book, he said as a professor, he had two curriculums as a professor. He had one curriculum from the school for black people to teach them how to be workers. And then he had another curriculum for white people to teach them how to be owners. So that shows us that these systems do
Wow.
know, they do understand the principle of leadership, and they pick and choose who they want to teach these leadership value to, right? So now as you're trying to break your child out of concept that they've been manipulated into, right? They're fighting against you. Said, no, I need to get a job. I need to work, right? And Jeannie threatened to slap me yesterday. We had a conversation. I ain't gonna forget about that.
Yes.
Right? Right? Because somebody offered me a,
Yeah.
a, a shift at a job, and I was like, "What's the shift?" And he said from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I was like, "What?" And Jeannie was like, "If you took that job, I would have came down from North Carolina and slapped you." And I was like, "Yeah, I would have deserved that." Right? I would have deserved
Yeah.
that because it doesn't make any sense, right? It will rob you. It will rob you of your goals, of your plan, of your future building blocks, right? Because as you're sitting here and you're building a life for other people, are they building your life, right? If you work for instance, you said that you know the CEO of all these companies that you work for. I mean, that you actually interact with for as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, right? Y'all probably go down and eat together, drink together, have laughs and jokes together, right? And I can't remember one time that I actually had dinner with a CEO from any company that I work for.
Mhm.
I can't
Okay.
remember one time where a CEO
Wow.
came and said, "Listen, we all gonna have dinner together in commemoration of the success of our company. We pass our audit. You know, we was able to get new funding grants into the organization. I want y'all guys to come and sit down with me in this nice restaurant, all expenses paid on me, right? And to celebrate our togetherness, right? There's a big gap there where this person is up here and I'm all the way down here. You don't even see me. I'm off the radar, right?
Nathaniel, you forgot about that company picnic. You forgot about the company picnic where they gave all the employees a company picnic, and the CEO, the head guy was there and celebrated at the company picnic.
You can't even get to him. He was like trying to get an autograph from Will Smith, right? It was a very difficult, even though he was there, he wasn't there, right? So you know,
wow,
it's trickery. It's trickery. They're making you think he's there for you, but he's not there for you. He's actually doing business there with other people that's on his platform, right? Not with you. He's not trying to find out the case manager, you know what I'm saying, that's working with a mental health client, or the case manager that's actually helping the substance abuse clients where they actually got that big grant coming in. He's not trying to meet you, not trying to shake your hand. He's not trying to elevate you out of that position, because who's going to do a better job than you if you get elevated out of that position? He's going to keep you right there stuck.
That's right.
Right? And this is what Twanzell is talking about. We can work for these systems. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to have an action plan that's associated to working with these systems. And it can't be rent, light bill, and gas bill, because those are systems that are perpetual. They're never going to end. So you can't work to pay for a system that's a continuum, right? Your life has to be the continuum out of all these systems. You have to be able to have investment pools, life insurance, treasury accounts, right? All these different things must work. Residual income, these things must work in your favor. So if you get cursed out at the job one day by the CEO, you can say, well, you know, I've been working here because I like the company, I like what they're doing, but I got $5.5 million. I don't have to be here, right? I'm going to break out, man. You know, I'm going to sell some of my cryptocurrency.
That's right.
Because you don't appreciate me, you know what I'm saying, as a professional in this organization. Right. We have to be able to create options for ourselves. And I think this is the gift that Twanzell is providing to us as people, is the option to live the life that you want to live. And you can work anywhere you want to work. You can be a volunteer for Red Cross if that's what you want to do, right? But make sure that you have sustainability for you and your loved ones in case any storm comes, because there's a scripture that says in the Bible that in the time of wealth, store up your wealth 6, maybe even 7 places, because you know not which way the wind will blow, right? Which means that you can get uprooted at any given time if you're only dealing with one substance for your life. You have to have multiple streams in the society.
Yes.
You know, stop emulating other people because they have the new Tesla or they got a new BMW. You don't know how they got those things. They could have got the things through business credit. They could have actually robbed those things from their grandmother by changing certain documentations and things of that nature. So don't start emulating these people for these things. Actually take this substance that you have to rebuild yourself if you haven't built yourself already. But rebuild yourself now and start now with the different opportunities that the Most High has provided for us.
And Twanzell, how do you, on Monday nights, how do we participate in your webinar? How can we participate in that? I mean, how do we tune into it? How does the average person just tune in and be able to connect with you?
Absolutely. That's a great question, Jeannie. And to be able to do that, anyone that's listening, if they get in direct contact with Brother Nathaniel Evans, he can give you the via the president on Zoom right now. We'll be transitioning to a new platform for we actually own a piece of the company for this other platform that we're going to be transitioning to, which is way better than Zoom. But That's going to start in October, but currently on Zoom Genie every week, and you can get anyone can contact Nate and get that link and get the information for that. And you have permission, Nate, to give my number to anyone who wants to get more questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Inquire.
Definitely. Yeah. You
That's
good?
that's absolutely fine. Yeah, every single Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. We're in the community wealth building webinar, doing presentations and mindset training for how we can connect, for how our members are already connecting to these platforms that's generating for many of them $1,000 a month, $10,000 per month, $1,000 a month. The person who introduced me, she's making $100,000 per month. But things like that,
And
we share those different things in that private Zoom, and we'll be more than happy to invite anyone with a serious mind.
Okay, that is wonderful because as Nathaniel was saying, sometimes we and especially people of color, we have money in our community. A lot of times we are
Yes.
portrayed as being really, and we are at the bottom of the money barrel, but we have more assets than we really realize if we put those assets in the correct place instead of investing, as Nathaniel said, maybe in that
Yes.
Mercedes. We might want to get a smaller car that doesn't cost as much to upkeep, and put that money that we would have put into the upkeep of that Mercedes, put it into a place where we can
Yes.
be building wealth. And we might want to not have
Yes.
our eyes on that 10-bedroom house, get a 5-bedroom house, and use that money that we would have used for bedroom we don't even go into, don't use, don't have a need to, but we want to impress someone with how big our
Yes.
house is. But we are
Yes.
struggling every month to
Yes.
make that mortgage payment, and we don't have anything to show for it, and the house is going down. We don't even have money to put in to the upkeep of the house. So sometimes we have to change the way we think,
Wow.
and we are not educated to think that way. We're
yeah,
not educated to think. We are educated to think that things, the more things that we have, to me, I'm just speaking of me. Whenever
hmm
I see someone that get a big, real fancy car, a big fancy all I can think about is, ooh, I wonder how much the monthly payments on that are, because I know they can't afford to just go out and pay cash for it, or at least I think, I'm all in somebody else's pocket.
yeah,
But I be thinking, how, you know,
Mhm.
what, you're paying a whole lot of money for this car per month, and you could pay half of that, take half of that car note, and be investing it in something that will be a legacy for your children, something that when you don't have that job or something happened to you with that job, you can say bye bye. I was
that's
talking to my
correct.
son yesterday,
Yes.
and he just take contract jobs. He does not ever take a permanent job anywhere, and God has blessed him with a lot of skills, so he take contract jobs doing different things. And he said people are always trying to offer him a permanent position, and they were, why don't you want to work here, why won't you take this job? And he said, I love being independent. See what he said, if I go into
Yes.
that place today and they do something that is offensive to me, I don't have to go back tomorrow. I don't have to take
Yes.
whatever they want to put out, And he said, and a lot of times people do not understand what it feels like to be free, to be
Mm,
free, free to live,
Yes.
what it is, free to
that's
live.
right. Free
So,
to
Yes.
live.
but that takes coming up out of that fear of how am I going to
Yes.
pay my bills. As you said, Twanzell, you might want to do it in little baby steps. You know, you have that job,
Yes.
but figure out where you can cut
Mm-hmm.
back on certain things so that your whole entire salary is not going towards paying that light bill, paying that rent or mortgage payment, paying off. How can you
Yeah.
cut back on that cable? You got every channel cable, you got cable, you got Showtime, you got HBO, you got
Yes.
Cinemax, you got all these. You're paying $200 a month cable bill. How can you cut that in half? Maybe pay $100 for just regular TV that you don't have time to watch because you're so busy working, and
Yes. Right, Jeannie.
invest that. So that's my 2 cents worth. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you teach on that, don't you, Twanzell? Do you teach on
Jeannie, I
that?
love. That's why I was just. She was saying. We sure do every night. Like we talk about things that you, Jeannie. Do we really count? If everyone took time and just counted going, you will be so astounded and surprised. Like you said so beautifully, Jeannie, people paying for things that they don't even use. What if you took some of that income from your job and, like Jeannie said, take baby steps and start putting it, parking it in certain areas where the money can go to work for you, making your money, get a job, just like have a job, give your money a job and make it grow. Take baby steps and just make it grow and make it grow. Learn to pay yourself, add to it, and even more and even more. I was just thinking about something that happened. We were doing a training and we was just studying markets and was studying what was going on since COVID hit us 2.5 years ago. And since that time, when COVID hit about 2.5 years ago, the wealth and the super rich, they have increased their wealth by 26%.
Wow.
Companies, there's certain companies and industries that exploded, family, for the past 2.5 years while people were losing their jobs,
Mm-hmm.
houses going into foreclosure, people getting their
Mm.
cars repossessed, etc., losing things. The wealthy and super rich, and you can do the research, go on Google and just start studying and digging. But the wealthy and super rich overall increased their wealth by 26%. The light bulb go off for our brothers and sisters to realize, wow, we got to start thinking differently and doing differently. And it can be
For
done
sure.
because, like Jeannie talked about the spending,
Mhm.
Nathaniel talked about the power we have. We have just in the United States of America alone, we have a $1.6 trillion spending or buying power. Can you imagine what would happen if we start redirecting properly? Behind the scenes, Black Wall Street is now online, is virtual, and it's going to transition more and more physical on the ground. It's a lot of great things happening. And that's why we're so glad for just like this platform that Brother Nathaniel Evans has with Jeannie, and sharing the information, just getting information out there, because somebody's going to be listening and pick it up and run with it. And that's what we want to be able to do, not to be dependent upon anyone, but self-sufficient is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to look at it. You said the income increased by 26 cents, and as far as you look at Black people concerned, our population, we look at 26 cents like it's nothing. Like I'll just take 26 cents. I've been in stores, people take they change
Mhm.
their pocket, just throw it on the floor, and as soon as they walk out the store, I start picking it up and I just throw it in my change jar,
Yeah,
right? Right. So, right.
exactly. That's
But
right.
if that 26
That's right.
cent times that 26 cent times 2 million people, that becomes astronomical,
Ooh.
Oh
right?
my goodness.
See, this is the reason why they're
Huge.
able to
Huge.
get us, because they penny pinching us and we don't see the accumulation of the pennies, right? And they getting us. It's like going to the corner store and they say,
Yes.
son, it's 99 cents.
Yes.
And I give him $1 and he keeps $1. I said, yo, where's my penny? It says 99 cents, right? And,
Yes.
and he'll look at me strange.
That's right.
Like, why do you
Those
ask you
pennies
for
add
the
up.
penny? And I'm like, well, if you take a penny from 10,000 people, you know what I mean? You done made $1,000 for free, right? Out of nowhere. That's not even part of your budget. So now you basically you can make cash-free money or tax-free money, and that you don't have to actually give back to the government because the bag of chips is only 99 cents. It's not $1, right?
Wow.
And if you do this to 50,000 people or 100,000 people,
that's right.
That's more income that's in your pocket that's not accounted for, and you can actually have that money and do powerful things with that money. And this is how they actually able to trick us by actually taking money from us in cents. They're not coming to take $10 and $20 because you're going to notice that, right? But you're not going to notice 5 cents and 10 cents, right? You're not going to pay attention if they do 10 cents to 10,000 people or 50,000 people. They got a whole bunch of money, and you're not even going to go back for the 10 cents. You're like, it just got lost in translation, right? You're not even going to pay attention to that 10 cents.
And you know, Nathaniel, you were talking about, and this is what we're talking about, is unity, working together. And that's where we as a people sometimes miss it because we will not unify and work together because, and if I'm not mistaken, the Nation of Islam did a study once, and they said in the Black community, if we compare the wealth that is in the Black community, we would be like the 9th richest nation in the world. Whoa. Now think about that. And I if I'm not mistaken, it was the 9th richest, the Black community. You know, all of our wealth collectively would make us the 9th richest nation in the world. Now think about that. Think if we work in unity, if we are unified we're working to build and doing for self, how much we can do rather than take and how long the dollar stays in the Black community. When we have $1, the dollar, we get $1 in the Black community, it's gone in a few hours. It's gone. It's gone to another community.
Yes.
You know, we do not know the power that we have in unity. And this is what I hear you saying, Twanzell, working together to take that $1. I mean, look here, that's the 3 of us on this platform. If the 3 of us decided to get together and just every month put $10 into a fund together, look at how $10, that's $30 a month. Multiply that by 12 and then start seeing how that accumulates. And that's just with $10 with 3 people. Now take
that group. We got to start that group because we actually developmental properties. We can build developmental properties together. I was telling Twanzell this. I was on a conference call, with some advocates, right? They were actually fighting against homelessness in the city, New York or whatever. And my spirit, I'm listening to this conversation. They're saying we're going to go out, we're going to do some marches, we're going to get some speakers, we're going to hold up some signs and things of that nature. And my spirit hit me and said, ask them this question. So I, raised my hand and said, yeah, what's going on, Mr. Evans? I said, yeah, being that we are in agreement that there's a homelessness crisis in our communities, being that it's 30 of us on this platform, can we actually sit down at a round table and invest money together, right? So we can actually start buying properties so we can assist our brothers and sisters in this homelessness crisis. And 90% of those people said, I got my own things going on. So, and I was like, well, that means that because you got your own thing going on, he got his own thing going on, that this homelessness crisis is going to continue to run rampant through our communities, and we're going to go take our money that we could actually join forces with 30 other individuals, and within 6 months of 30 individuals come together with finances, we can actually go buy this big building that's whole 100 rooms, right? Or we can actually go on this empty plot and actually create small houses, you know what I'm saying, for people within our community to basically throw off this homelessness crisis for overtaking us as a people. And they did not see my logic. They did not see where I was coming from. They said, oh, Nathaniel's not a team player, right? But I'm talking about team things, but I'm not a team player, right? Because I don't want to just sit back and just watch my people be eradicated for no reason, while when I walk next to you in the march, you got a pair of $500 Nikes on, right?
Yes.
So the Most High was telling me, yo, you in the wrong space, man, because they're not thinking the way they're supposed to be thinking, and they're not trying to put this money together to get rid of these crises that's taking place within our community. They're looking for the same government that created the crisis to give them the tools and the resources to upthrow the crisis, and it's not going to happen. They're not going to turn around and give you that resource when they actually created the tool. You know what I'm saying? That you're actually fighting against.
Yeah,
yes.
and you know what? It is, and this is saying we are so envious and jealous of each other that we think we're like that crab in the barrel. We have that mentality of, I think that, you know, you may get just a little bit more than I have, and I don't want you to get ahead of me, you know, so I am jealous of you and I'm envious of you, instead of seeing it as a collective thing, that when I rise, you rise. When I become successful, you are become successful. We are all in this together, and we work together so that we can all advance, so that we can all meet at the top, so it won't be lonely at the top. I don't want to reach the top and be there by myself. I want to see Twanzell. I want to see Nathaniel. I want to see everybody that's riding with Nathaniel. I want to see everyone that's riding with Twanzell. I want to see us all at the top, and we are going to be at up there. It's going to be crowded up there at the top. Nobody's.
And that's how it's supposed. That's how it's supposed to be. And I want to interject you, Twanzell. I see you anxious, but it's, you know, we have these systems that we created this. We created this one CEO concept, or this one leader over everybody concept. And as we have been seeing through history, once they knock off the one leader or the one CEO, everything crumbles. It might still seem like it's continuing, but that energy that actually kept that system together is no longer there. They got to reproduce new energy to keep this thing alive, right? So we've been seeing it, because even when I was on a movement to close Rikers Island, the white woman asked me, she was like 60-something years old. She said, I was marching when I was 18 years old to close Rikers Island, and now I'm at my 60s and I'm doing this thing all over again. And she said, young man, why is it that I'm doing this all over again? I said, because you did not eradicate the system when you was appointed to eradicate it, right? So now you have to come back and revisit this same platform. And she said, what methods do we need to eradicate system? I said, well, we need to have multiple CEOs in these organizations, right? So nobody could get knocked off, and next thing you know, we starting back from scratch. And I said, this is what's happening. Once they destroy one organization or one movement, it takes another 20 to 30 years for new spirits to catch wind of it, to try to start up all over again, and they continue the same process, and that process never ends.
So true. So true, Brother Nathaniel. And I just, wow, this is exciting. I just was feasting on the words of you and Sister Jeannie, because that, you know, when people start to understand and realize how much abundance there is in the world, you know, there's room for everyone, like Sister Jeannie was talking about, and all of us eat from all this abundance that the Most one forest, I believe it's in the country of Russia, but there's a forest that has enough trees to literally build a house for every human being on planet Earth. And there's over 7 billion people, they
Whoa.
say, on this planet. But that forest has so much abundance in it. And that's the way that the planet has been created. There's abundance here, and all of us can tap into it. But the other ones to think small, always stay down at the bottom while we stay up at the top. And it doesn't have to be that way, because there is abundance on this planet that the Most High has created. And all we got to do is tap into it so that we can constantly be there in equality with one another. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about equality and justice, and it's enough for all of us to have it in an equitable way. So that's why I'm so grateful for this podcast that you got, brother, to be able to share ideas and philosophies to help us to open up our mind like a parachute to realize what we have available to us and what we can tap into.
Yeah, Jeannie and I created this, this podcast. I know I started it off, but then, once the Most High introduced me to Jeannie, that was it. I couldn't shake her off, right? So we actually, we actually just
Yes, that's all right.
We actually stay connected, because together, and it shows together we have more of an impact. And we can actually change the lives of people together, from a male perspective or from female perspective. And then also as a unit perspective, we can actually, start helping our leaders understand the true nature of their leadership. And I believe it's freedom. I believe it's a freedom to live our lives. Jeannie has her organization, Freedom to Live, which is a great organization. I didn't even know that she really had that when we connect. But the Most High just brings all the pieces together. And we have the right to have the freedom to live our lives on a level that we seek for ourselves and for our families. You said something earlier, Gene, about accumulating things. The more things that you accumulate, the more you got to carry when it's time for you to exit, right? So you want to be careful about all these different things that you accumulate in the world, because one day, let's say you got 20 buildings and you got to carry 20 buildings, right? How you going to do it, right? You're not going to be able to do it, right? So it's being careful about what you're trying to carry and what's on your spirit. I was telling Jeannie the other day that I ran into a friend of mine that had a foot surgery, and he got part of his foot chopped off, and he said that while he was in the hospital, he wasn't thinking about his foot. He wasn't thinking about the nature of his foot. How did it come to the fact that he is losing his foot, in this manner? He was thinking about, I'm in the hospital, I had to have foot surgery, and I'm losing all this money that I could accumulate if I was standing outside selling my sneakers and my jackets and hats, right? And that was really profound to me as a Black man, to say that I'm going through a life-changing event with my own personal existence. The one existence I have, I don't have multiple existences. You saying reincarnation, I don't know nothing about none of that. I know that I'm right here and right now. And if I did have the ability to be reincarnated, it can be 1,000 years from now, right? I won't know what it is because I didn't bring myself here in the first place. So I don't know how I'm going to bring myself back, right? And he was saying about, his items that he had that he wanted to sell to people, instead of concentrating on his life and the effects that the world is having on his life and how to recover, right, from the effects of this world, right? It's his mindset and his heart was in a totally different place than what was actually happening to him. And I think this is a profound thing in our society where things are happening to us and we're not even paying attention to things happening to us because we are involved in things that we need to do, that we have to do in order for us to survive.
Yes. And I want to say this, Twanzell.
Yes.
The thing that Nathaniel and I are emphasizing is that we're not letting labels divide us as we go through, especially,
Yes.
we will let, because I am a Muslim and he's Hebrew Israelite. You may be a Christian. I don't know. It really does not matter as long as you believe in a creator, as long as you're connected to the Most High. We can have a conversation, because we both know where our energy and where our life force is coming from. So I'm not going to let a label divide me from you. I'm not going to
Yes.
let the label of me being female and you be male divide me from you. I'm not going to let labels
Yes.
divide me. I am going to concentrate on what we all have in common. The one thing that, the thing that we have in common, I'm going to concentrate on that. And I'm going to work with you so that we can all elevate together, regardless of, you know, what you call yourself or what, you say. We're going to work together and accomplish what the Most
Yes.
High desires for all of us together, getting rid of the
Yes.
labels and letting that be a thing that I don't want to have anything to do with him because blah blah blah. I don't want to have because she believes this and he believes. No, we are black and in this together. And it doesn't matter even color.
Yes.
I'm not even talking about it.
That's
Don't
That's
matter.
right.
that's right.
That's right.
If you feel the same way, I don't care what your color is. Come on over. We're gonna work together. So that's me.
I love it, Jeannie. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Believer in that.
So
Yeah,
that's
man.
that's that's what and see, and Nathaniel feel we have that
I love
connection
it.
because we all want to elevate together. We want to be up here on a high vibrational level together. We want to come from a place of love for each other and wanting to see for my brother and my sister what I want for myself.
Yeah, because you want to see the abundance of life in your
Yes.
people when you walk past them in the street. It don't got nothing to do with their sneakers, ain't got nothing to do with the pants they got on, but the energy that they represent when they
Mm-mm.
when they walk past you, that energy that they have when they walk past you, you want it to increase you. Are you feeling down today, or you had a loss in your life? You want that energy when they pass by you to feel like a strong wind, like
Hmm.
whoa, that was strong, bro. I really felt that, right?
Yeah.
You wanna have that a part of your life. I was sharing a story with Jeannie where I was on the train one day and
Yes.
there was a woman sitting down, and then I sat down next to her and I just looked over and said, "How you doing today, sister?" And she said, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I've experienced a great loss in my life. I came on a train to see if I was alone in the world, and you showed me that I wasn't alone just by you saying how you doing today, sister." She said, "You saved my life, and you don't even know it,
Wow.
Mm.
right?"
Wow.
A simple thing like
Wow.
that, you know what I mean, that we take for granted. Because we are all energy source. I say this all the time. We are all life forces, right? There should never be a dull moment in our lives, right? Our lives are a continuum of righteousness, you know what I'm saying, of faithfulness, you know what I'm saying, and of continuous mercies that the Most High has provided to us over and over and over again. And those same things that the Most High provided to us, we also have the duty and the responsibility to provide to one another.
Yes.
Because how does
Yes.
he honor us if we do not honor each
Yes.
other? Christ said it first. How do you hate your brothers and sisters that you see and
That's
love
right.
him that you do not see?
How do
Right?
you love him and you right?
You never
Yes.
seen the Most High. You never seen the Most High.
Never. That's
You know,
right.
Moses never
That's
seen the
right.
Most High. Moses seen the Most High back, and all his hair turned gray, right? He didn't even get to see the front of the Most
Yeah.
High. He got to see the back of the Most High, right? Right? So we never see the Most
Exactly.
High, right? So we have to stop acting like we're going to see the Most High by not doing righteousness.
And not treating other people
Yes.
the
That's right.
way we want to be treated.
By our power.
Right. Your actions. So I am just
Yes.
thankful for having this platform and having you with us today, Twanzell. This
Yeah.
has been exciting. I am looking forward to getting to know you better.
Yes.
I am so excited
Yes.
about what you have brought to us today. And I will be on a natural high for a long time from this conversation.
And you know, he's also a spearhead in the Club Bismarck that I told you about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a powerhouse in this. He's my mentor. I call him all the time. He be like, "This brother bother me, man," but I'm gonna give him a call. Right?
Okay. Oh, wait, that's exciting. See, that's exciting to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's a part of this, and he, you know, it's two of him and I think it's Keith, and they strong, they powerful, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
wow.
they have found a needle in a haystack. All the opportunities that he's talking about are a needle in a haystack, and they was actually able to find it for our people and then share it. They could have found it for themselves, man, and just kept all the glory and power to themselves, and they did not do so. They actually took this knowledge and took this wisdom and incorporated to share with others, brothers and sisters, right? So we can free ourselves up and have that natural course of energy that we need to survive in the land. We all need it. Say when you plant that seed, because you want to grow pears, you just can't plant that seed there and leave it there. You got to tend to that garden. You got to go in there. You got to pluck out weeds, and you got to shift things. You got to destroy other fruits and stuff that's not, at their highest potential to allow that tree to blossom and to grow, right? You have to do these same things for our humanity. Our humanity is more important than the seeds and all these other things that we actually using. It is our humanity, because without our humanity, who's going to plant the seed? Who's going to pluck down the fruits that the seed produce? Right?
Yes. And
who's going to go
down? Do you have a final thought before we wrap this up today? Do you have something that you would like to leave with our audience?
Absolutely, Jeannie and Nick. I just want to say thank you for allowing me this time to be able to come on this wonderful platform and share, just do some information sharing, because that's my passion, getting good information out to the field, to our people, to anyone who has a willing heart to listen and to give and to share. Because we want the best for everyone that has good intentions. And that website, the screen, obtainprofits.com, talks about the companies that we are into, that people to make their money go to work for them. And again, anyone who wants to get connected to our weekly wealth building community webinar with me and Brother Salim team, you can see Nathaniel for that, and he'll be more than glad to get you that link. But thank you so much again, Nathaniel and Jeannie, for allowing me to come on and share. I greatly enjoyed my time with both of you.
It was a pleasure, definitely. Because we usually do our podcast on Sunday, but I was like, nah, you got to get this brother in there. We have the option to do our podcasts every day.
Yes.
And this is the first time we actually did a special guest on a Thursday. And we really appreciate it that we had this interaction with you. And hopefully that we can find our brothers and sisters that seek to grow, seek to take chances in their own lives, and really build some healthy systems, that they can fall back on.
Yes. And again, I just want to say, today is World Smile Day. I just declared it. So go ahead and smile. Peace and
Peace.
blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. So, were you going to take us out, Gene, or are we just going to?
Oh yes, I didn't know if you wanted to do that, but I did. I'm going to do that. Here we go. We're gonna just take a few minutes.
All right, hold on, Twanzell. We finishing this. Oh, he broke out on us, but we'll do it. We'll do it on our own.
Okay. All right. Okay. This music is not our music. We do not own the rights to this music, but we're going to relax to this music. Take a deep breath and let it out slow. Take a deep breath and let it out slow. Relax the top of your head. Relax. Relax your face. Come on down your body. Relax your arms. Relax. Relax your fingers. Relax. Come on down. Breathing as we go. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Relax your legs. Relax your toes. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. I'm going to count backwards from 5. You can take a deep breath and let it out slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Have a peaceful day. Have a beautiful day. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, guys.